From the studios of Books in Motion, this is Rusty Nelson reading The Rising Storm, number 53 in the Wilderness series by David Thompson. Now let's begin with The Rising Storm. Chapter 1. The Garden of Eden had its serpent, which is why it was fitting that Simon and Felicity Ward named the valley where they had settled after the first of all gardens. Situated amid emerald foothills that bordered the towering Rocky Mountains, the valley was their notion of paradise on earth. Thanks to a year-round stream fed by runoff from the snow that crowned the highest peaks, Simon and Felicity had done a wondrous thing. They were the first homesteaders to have a thriving farm. Seeds they brought from Boston were the key to their success. Seeds for corn, wheat, barley, tomatoes, potatoes, lettuce, and more. The Wards planted those seeds and nurtured the resultant seedlings and reaped a bountiful harvest. All was not perfect, though. The growing season was not as long as Simon liked. Spring did not come until late, and fall came much too early. But with careful planning, the Wards had accomplished what many claimed was impossible. They were wresting a living from the wilds. Their homestead was a model of efficiency. Their farm was the talk of the territory. It was talked about at Bent's Fort, where trappers and mountain men and Indians and settlers came to trade and obtain supplies and socialize. The two strangers who stayed at the trading post for a week heard about the Ward farm. Indeed, when the Wards and their valley were first mentioned by the blacksmith in casual conversation, the pair could not hear enough. They plied the blacksmith and everyone else at Bent's Fort with questions about the Wards and their achievements, but they did so in such a way that no one realized how intensely interested they were. The strangers were from England. One was named Severn, the other York. Severn did most of the asking. He was tall and broad of shoulder, with a severe face and a long nose, and he looked down that nose when he talked to people. He had an air about him that some of the mountain men disliked, but since he was free with his money and bought drinks for everyone he talked to, a lot of drinks if they knew a lot about the Wards and their valley, his arrogant manner was overlooked. Severn claimed he and York were looking for a site to homestead. After a week, the pair left, and no one gave them any thought. No one wondered why they often huddled together and whispered and then became quiet if others strayed near. No one thought much of the fact that for homesteaders they didn't appear to know the first thing about building a cabin or growing crops. The only comment made was by the blacksmith, who remarked the evening after the pair left that they had not been very forthcoming about where they were from, or anything else for that matter. Simon and Felicity Ward did not hear of the pair's interest in their valley on their next visit to Bent's Fort. They came once every 3 months, whether they needed anything or not, principally because Felicity loved to mingle with any women who happened to be there. On those occasions, Simon would watch over the apple of their eye, their 4.5-year-old son, Peter. The boy was a bubbling fount of childish curiosity who could never sit or stand still for more than a minute. He was always exploring, always venturing places he should not venture, which was why Simon kept a tight rein on him. At Bent's Fort, it was safe enough, but elsewhere, even their valley, it was not. At last count, there were 8 homesteads along the Front Range, and twice that many dotted the nearby prairie. The rest was raw wilderness, raw, untamed, savage wilderness. The land teemed with game, with elk and deer and buffalo and mountain sheep, with squirrel and rabbit and grouse and a variety of waterfowl and fish. And where you found game,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?